You young anime fans got it easy. Back in my day, we couldn't fucking just search up some random ass anime and watch it. We had to fucking wait for it to come on TV and pray to Jesus Christ Almighty that it doesn't get canceled. That was the reality of being an anime fan in the early 2000s. There wasn't no Crunchyroll, not even the extremely illegal piratey Crunchyroll that initially came out. Like, that shit did not exist back then. It was a different time, a purer time for the anime fan community, where everything was fucking fresh and new, and we didn't even know we were fucking watching anime. Fuck, what even was a Japan back then? I don't think I even knew that there was a country named Japan, yet I was watching Japanese cartoons or whatever the fuck. You didn't even know that basic, shit, right? So names like Yu Yu Hakusho would just like strike you as, oh, that's a weird name for a show. You wouldn't think, oh, it's an actual different language. So I guess I feel like that's one of the biggest source of like weebdoms like that you end up having, is people who go from that initial like, oh, anime sure is cool, to, oh wait, there's an entire country and culture that like makes this media, what? And that sort of like mind blow kind of thing makes you go, holy shit, isn't that's fucking cool, blah blah blah, that whole thing. Shit like Toonami's existence in the daytime really helped though. It was like the perfect time slot. It like aired around like 5 o'clock after all the kids got home and shit, and we're like, holy shit, let's watch some fucking Toonami. Oh bro, hell, I didn't even really think about the name for like the longest time. Toonami, like tsunami, but tune and whatever. Yeah, I'm slow as fuck, but that was just like, whoa, that realization, yo, Japanese shit. It's hiding in plain sight all over the place. Like, so all over the fucking place, man. I said you guys, you young peoples were like lucky, but in a sense, I'm also kind of lucky because I grew up in a certain time period where you really started to see like anime pop off. You have a lot of people who didn't even know what anime was, or just the general public consciousness of anime was not really where it was at the time, because literally back then people just call it Japanimation in academia and whatever the fuck, right? Way back in the day, like, the shortening of anime, just whatever the fuck, right? That's more after it started to pick up and all this other shit. As far as like streaming stuff, technically the first form of anime streaming was like YouTube pirated uploads and shit. That's literally how I watched like most of Bleach and stuff, was by watching these illegal uploads. At the time I didn't even realize it was fucking illegal, because copyright knowledge was not big back then, because YouTube was kind of the Wild West and shit at the time. But yeah, like copyright shit and all that, I didn't think about it. You just popped in and watched Bleach, and that's how I watched most of that fucking show. It was pretty interesting to think about how things have really fucking changed in a way, and that was kind of the very first form of what we had as far as like streaming and stuff. I guess what I'm trying to say and low-key brag about in a roundabout way is I sort of got to see anime go from being this weird, obscure thing that most people didn't even really know existed in, like, say, in places like America, to being extremely commonplace, and like even people who don't watch anime know what it is when they see it now. And that's a really weird thing to think about, right? How there's a lot of people who didn't really grow up with that and are anime fans now, but they didn't really see that like shift or that transition, in a sense, either because they weren't paying attention to the culture and the stuff that was going on at the time, or they were too young. From what I've seen, generally just from being around people my age, a lot of the times it literally is just like they're so out of tune with it in terms of just the general culture. They didn't watch any anime growing up aside from maybe like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. or Sailor Moon, you know, the typical stuff. So it's really interesting to think about like that from like a time period perspective. But yeah, I needed to put something out and I guess get back more into the creative flow. My fucking job is working me into the goddamn ground. I barely have any goddamn free time. And the new other video I was working on is taking longer than I thought it would. So yeah, enjoy this little tidbit thing. I enjoyed talking about it and going on about it, I guess, because I find it to be such a fascinating idea. I'll probably make a much longer video on the topic. But yeah, thanks. I'll see you around.